If you and I should chance to meet, I guess you wouldn't care. I'm sure you'd pass me in the street, as if I wasn't there. You'd never look me in the face, my modest mug to scan, because I'm just a commonplace and ordinary man. But then, it may be, you are too. A guy of every day who does the job he's told to do, and takes the wife his pay. Who makes a home and kids his care, and works with pick or pen. Why, pal, I guess we're just a pair of ordinary men. We plug away and make no fuss. Our feats are never crowned, and yet it's common coves like us who make the world go round. And as we steer a steady course, by God's predestined plan, hats off to that almighty force, the ordinary man.
My name is Peter, and this video explores what it really means to date the normal guy. In the socio-sexual hierarchy, the Delta male is not a rarity or an anomaly. He is the majority. He is the steady, recognizable presence in most workplaces, communities, and social environments. Rarely dramatic, seldom extreme, he forms the backbone of the social order simply by showing up day after day. Yet behind his ordinary exterior lies a familiar tension. Many Deltas carry the subtle hope of going unnoticed when the social spotlight swings too close. They don't seek invisibility out of shame, but because exposure often brings the risk of misunderstanding or rejection. It is the internal wish to retreat from scrutiny that so often defines the Delta's early romantic posture.
Susie, look at me. You got no idea what I'd give to be invisible.
Our fictional analog for this chapter is Ben Grimm from the Fantastic Four. Strong, loyal, anchored in everyday decency, but quietly aware of how visibility can complicate intimacy. His internal world mirrors the Delta instinct to withdraw before he is judged.
It's the blonde ambition. I don't know whether I should be flying or doing Swan Lake in these suits. I mean, who the hell came up with this?
In any social landscape, the Delta moves carefully. His instinct is not to dominate a room or to manipulate its dynamics, but to blend into its rhythm. He operates with quiet, observational intelligence, gauging the interpersonal weather before he acts. This leads to a predictable pattern. He advances subtly, pauses early, and retreats quickly if interest is not unmistakably reciprocated. Emotionally, this is not cowardice. It is a protective mechanism shaped by years of learning that ambiguous signals usually precede disappointment. This internal caution becomes self-evident when examining figures like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. Earnest, capable, and deeply loyal, yet forever standing at the precipice of choosing courage without always stepping fully into it. Deltas often rehearse this internal moment of decision, that point where one must choose a direction, yet hesitates until the opportunity narrows. It echoes the larger emotional crossroads they face again and again.
And see how a hero is rewarded.
Don't do it, Goblin! We are who we choose to be. Now choose!
For women considering a Delta, this early hesitation is not disinterest. It is the prelude to sincerity. The Delta does not approach romance as a competitive arena. He is not collecting partners, chasing status, or measuring his worth through conquest. Instead, he is oriented toward a single emotional anchor, one person who sees him, values him, and remains. His romantic instinct is monogamous by default, driven by sincerity rather than performance. This is why heartbreak destabilizes him so powerfully. because when a Delta loves, he does so with presence rather than flair. His love is slow-burning, consistent, and often understated. Few fictional characters embody this as clearly as Forrest Gump, whose devotion is expressed not through eloquence, but through steady, unbroken loyalty. A Delta may not articulate the complexity of his feelings with academic precision, but he knows what emotional authenticity feels like. His understanding of love is grounded, lived, and deeply embodied.
Why don't you love me, Jenny? I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
When navigating dating, the Delta often oscillates between hope and self-protection. He approaches when he feels safe, withdraws when he senses uncertainty, and avoids any interaction that carries even a moderate risk of humiliation. This creates a feedback loop in which the Delta wants connection but resists exposing himself to potential rejection. This pattern is illustrated by Brennaman from Hitch, a man whose heart is large but whose confidence flickers unpredictably. His instinct tells him that he doesn't need others to direct his choices, yet he still hesitates, seeking external reassurance before committing to action. The Delta's internal reasoning should sound more like a reminder that decisions must come from within rather than from others' approval.
I think if you want to invest $500,000 in your friend's business, that's exactly what you should do.
Albert!
Look, you don't need us to tell you what to do. We're a board of advisors. We're not your kindergarten teachers.
Women observing this behavior should not interpret it as emotional immaturity. It is simply the Delta's way of testing emotional safety before investing fully. One of the Delta's strongest values is stability. He seeks dependable work, predictable routines, and environments free from unnecessary volatility. This stability makes him a reliable partner, but it can also lead to emotional stagnation. The tension emerges when a Delta knows he wants more from life, but feels anchored by what he has already built. This dynamic surfaces in Office Space's Peter Gibbons, whose quiet existential frustration speaks to the Delta fear that pursuing the unknown may disrupt the few certainties they rely on. Deltas are often deeply committed to their work identities, seeing them as the pillars supporting their lives. Romantically, this mindset produces thoughts like making a move, taking a chance, risking emotional stability. Maybe it isn't worth endangering the secure life I've already constructed.
What's to stop you from doing this?
It's not worth the risk. I got a good job.
What if you didn't have a good job?
It is not an excuse. It is a deeply embedded risk calculus. When romantic efforts fall apart, Deltas rarely react impulsively. Instead, they process slowly, privately, and often with lingering self-blame. They revisit memories, reassess choices, and imagine alternative timelines in which tiny adjustments might have changed everything. This introspective loop is especially visible in Nicolas Cage's character in The Weatherman, who continually reduces major life burdens into small symbolic mistakes. A Delta often laughs at himself in quiet resignation, not out of bitterness, but because humor is the last functioning valve for emotional pressure.
Oh, that's all right. I laugh myself sometimes. Ain't a whole lot else you can do.
But beneath the humor sits a persistent counterfactual narrative. Perhaps one forgotten detail, one small oversight, one metaphorical missing piece could have altered the entire outcome.
Seriously. What if I remembered the tartar sauce?
Would things be different? Would Robert die not thinking I'm a jerk-off?
Don't forget the tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce, tartar sauce. Tartar sauce, tartar sauce, tartar sauce. I'd like to put my face in there. Tartar sauce, tartar sauce. Right in there. Tartar sauce. What happened to the guy who was trying to go around the world in a balloon? Did he make it? I should put some espionage or stolen plutonium in my novel, Tartar Sauce.
Women should understand that when a delta is caught in this loop, he is not living in the past out of weakness, but trying to understand the emotional architecture of his own heart. For the women watching, the delta is not the loudest man in the room, nor the flashiest, nor the most socially agile, but he is statistically the partner most likely to remain when life becomes difficult, when emotions become complex, and when long-term stability becomes more valuable than short-term excitement. The delta's strength lies in his reliability, earnestness, and emotional endurance. He is, in many ways, the partner who grows with you rather than the partner who dazzles briefly and disappears. He is teachable, attentive, and capable of deep connection. Dating a delta is choosing substance over spectacle. For the deltas listening, your ordinariness is not a liability. It is a foundation. Romantic courage is not about abandoning who you are, but stepping forward 1 inch further than you are comfortable with.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
I do.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.